Hello, I'm Jennifer Taylor, Financial Exploitation Attorney with Legal Aid of West Virginia. In this video, we continue our discussion about financial exploitation and the role of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman in the process of preventing, identifying, and reporting financial exploitation. We'll hear from Mary Booth, Long-Term Care Ombudsman with Legal Aid of West Virginia. So what is an ombudsman? Well, the word ombudsman comes from Scandinavian languages, and it roughly translates to something like representative. Communities around the world have had similar roles throughout history with varying responsibilities, but in the United States and in West Virginia specifically, ombudsmen work with residents in elder and long-term care facilities to ensure their rights are upheld. Now, let's hear from one of our regional long-term care ombudsmen about the role she takes when allegations of financial exploitation arise.
Hello, I'm Mary Booth and I'm a regional long-term care ombudsman with Legal Aid of West Virginia. As an ombudsman, my role is to visit with residents of long-term care facilities and help resolve their concerns or complaints. Allegations of financial exploitation often come to my attention, usually when a resident's bill is not being paid. Unpaid bills are the most common complaints that lead to discovery of financial abuse. Once I receive a financial exploitation complaint, it is up to the resident to make the decision on what action, if any, we take. Many times, the resident does not want any action taken because the alleged exploiter is a family member. Many residents express guilt, saying things like, "They're all I have," or "I don't want them to go to jail." Residents worry their actions will cause a ripple effect whereby other family members, such as children, will be negatively impacted. Often the resident is in shock or feels embarrassed to be in this situation. All of these factors determine whether a resident wants to move forward with a financial exploitation complaint. If a resident grants permission, ombudsmen may report financial exploitation to legal aid attorneys, who can explain the legal issues and represent the victim in court. In West Virginia, we have a state long-term care ombudsman who is employed by the Bureau of Senior Services and appointed to oversee ombudsmen. If a resident lacks the capacity to appreciate the nature of a situation and make an informed decision on the ombudsman's involvement, the state long-term care ombudsman can provide case approval if deemed appropriate. An ombudsman can send a letter to the alleged perpetrator requesting a meeting and restitution for money or property reportedly taken. The regional ombudsman can assist with what we call stopping the bleeding, so to speak, by arranging with Legal Aid of West Virginia to make changes. Some of these include setting in place resident-desired legal documents, including a power of attorney, beginning the conservatorship process, if deemed appropriate, or suggesting changing bank accounts to remove future access by the alleged perpetrator.
Nursing facilities are considered mandatory reporters and have an obligation to report alleged financial exploitation to Adult Protective Services and to law enforcement, whose roles are different from that of an ombudsman. For those who fear repercussions, it's important to note that it is illegal for anyone to willfully interfere with a state, regional, or volunteer ombudsman who is performing his or her duties. It is also illegal for anyone to discriminate against an employee of a long-term care facility or a resident or his or her family members or their legal representatives because they filed a complaint with or provided information in good faith to a state, regional, or volunteer ombudsman. For more information about how to contact an ombudsman, visit us at www.lawv.net/ombudsman. You can also get more information from the West Virginia Bureau of Senior Services.